Evening everyone, this is Adam. I'm at the New Wimbledon Theatre this evening for the opening night of the new UK tour of Hair, which, as you might know, Hair is a very old show which has been revived. This is actually a 50-year anniversary production, so I will be vlogging throughout the evening. As you can see, it's press night. There's a red carpet on behind us, so we're going to go and see who we can maybe see over there and come back to you maybe in the interval, tell you a bit more about the show and tell you how we thought about it at the end of the show. So we're at the New Wimbledon Theatre for the new UK tour of Hair, which opens here and goes all around the country. If you look below in the comments, we'll put all the tour dates, links to buy tickets, and we'll come back to you at the end of the show with an idea of what we thought of the show and whether you should go and see it. We've just come out of the opening night of Hair, which is the 50th anniversary tour, as I said earlier, and the last time I saw the show was actually in New York. They brought the New York cast they brought over to London, and I think it's always a danger reviving such a show that's so old. However, this is a passionate, heartfelt, honest revival. They do some extraordinary stuff throughout the show, which I would describe as exceptionally visual. They do some stuff that's very, very clever, very, very well rehearsed and executed by using stuff like lots of cloths, lots of visionary stuff, lots of visual movement and stuff as well. It's packed with some very good performances. Now, it is pretty much an ensemble piece. But there are some people. So people would know Jake Quickenden from X Factor, Marcus Collinson from X Factor as well. I think sometimes people from X Factor do get a bit of a bad rap around, or they're just being in it for who they are. However, these guys do deliver in spades in the show. It's very, it's a passionate and full-on, dare I say, balls out kind of performance, which you have to have for this show as well. So yeah, it was a good night. I think it's also interesting to see a show that has been. This is the 50th anniversary tour, and to see something that old and in its time groundbreaking. I mean, sure, some of the stuff they do and some of the language that you use in the show, nowadays we see it all the time in shows. We see nudity, we see swearing, we see drug use, we see all that stuff in the audience. So it does look a bit tamer now because of that. But they did this very tastefully, very beautifully, and very honestly. I think it is great also to see something that is so full of hope, positivity, and energy. Now, so as we walk back to the car, there's a couple of other things that have struck me. Obviously, this production did start off in a very small theatre, and to transfer it now to a big touring house, the show works excellent. There's lots of energy. There's a brilliant on-stage band. The other thing that I would pick up for throughout the show, the lighting is absolutely stunning. It adds, doesn't detract, and it really gives us an opportunity to move geographically in the show. It's a one set piece, but with the lighting it kind of feels like you've been a journey all the way around as well. The other thing I would point out, this score is nearly 50 years old, and as well as all the classics that we know and love, some of the ensemble singing in particular was really stirring, and I think the last 25 minutes of the show really I guess is a reminder to how people had to fight for what they believed when things weren't always right, and I guess that's probably still happening today, which has brought the show I guess in some ways bang up to date. I mean, I know they've set the show still as it was. There's not a lot of changes in the piece, but definitely. Oh, things are getting a bit dark. Sorry, I'm just going through a bus stop, and. So to see something that was written so long ago and kind of show a human struggle that was still happening all those years ago, and for us to look at that now and go, some of that stuff is still happening. The other thing I would say is, this is not a negative, but I did find that it did have a little bit of a new sheen of paint on as a production, and there was a hardness to it which I've not seen before. So particularly the character of Claude, for me, usually is a little bit more of an emotional centre than portrayed tonight. That's nothing to do with the actor that was doing it, but you know, I didn't care so much for him, where you kind of at the end, spoiler alert, when obviously he goes off to war and doesn't come back, there should be this void, and I think that wasn't massively portrayed well. But overall, you know, as a production, I think it's going to give people an opportunity to see a show that's not been seen for a long time, that actually was a game changer in musical theatre. I would definitely give it 4 stars. I think that it is something that I would describe as passionate, heartfelt, honest. I think it is a beacon of hope and light in a bit of a dark world, and just to be seeing a musical that was written 50 years ago do that, it's definitely props to the producers, the directors. Thank you as always to all the producers and the New Wimbledon Theatre for having us as guests tonight. Before the curtain comes down today, I like to do the normal things in the glamorous place of Morrison's car park. Could you please subscribe? So please subscribe below to the video. Also, can you follow me on Twitter? On Twitter I'm Adam Amdram, that's right. And on Facebook and on Instagram I'm Amdram Adam, and I look forward to seeing you on the eye.